The English language has something called phrases. A phrase is something that is less than a full sentence. For example, fish and chips, that's a phrase. The big house, that's a phrase. They're phrases because they are less than a full sentence, but more than a single word. So you're familiar with the concept of phrases. In maths, you have something like 4x plus 2, or just 7y, or just 5. All of these are incomplete mathematical sentences. They are not full sentences as far as maths goes. So 4x plus 2 is an example of an expression. You don't need to have an operation in an expression. So just 7y on its own, that's a single term, that's also an expression. Or even just the number on its own, so the number 5, that's an expression. So all of these are expressions. The dead giveaway is that there is not an equals sign anywhere to be seen here. So expressions never have an equals sign. So that's probably the quickest way to remember what an expression is. Next, y equals 2 plus 9. 4 equals z take away 10. Notice how these have equals in them, so they are definitely not expressions. So they're either going to be equations or formulas. So what's the difference between an equation and a formula? The difference is that an equation can be solved and a formula cannot be solved. All right, so just remember that. An equation can be solved, a formula cannot be solved. The obvious difference is that an equation only has a single unknown. Y equals 2 plus 9. There's only one unknown here. 4 equals z take away 10. Again, there's only one unknown. So you'll be able to use the normal rules of algebra to solve these to figure out what's going on there. The only exception is simultaneous equations. They have two unknowns, but you've got two equations. That's why you can solve those just like you would a normal equation. So they're still equations. Finally, formulas. So what are formulas then? Formulas cannot be solved because they've got way too many unknowns. So speed equals distance divided by time. Everything is unknown here. The only way to use a formula is by substituting numbers in from the question and then transforming it from a formula into an equation. And then that equation can be solved. Here's another example of a formula. Y equals mx plus c. Again, there's just too many unknowns here. You can't solve it as it is, but you can substitute things in and then change it into a regular equation, and then you can solve it. So an expression has no equal sign. Formulas and equations, they both do have equal signs. Formulas cannot be solved and equations can be solved. So that's the difference between all three.